Morning all. Welcome to another session of our online class. Today, the session on the mechanisms of electrophilic substitution in benzene will be handled by Dr. S.V. Manoj sir. He is working as the assistant professor in the Department of Chemistry at SN College, Kollam. He has more than 12 years of experience in teaching and 6 years of experience in the field of research. He published one book, 13 papers in various journals, and a research project. His main areas of interest are organic and environmental chemistry. And I welcome Manoj sir to handle the session. And I would also like to welcome all the students to the session. Thank you.
So before going to the details of electrophilic substitution reaction, first of all, we can say something about the electrophiles, which are the attacking reagents in electrophilic substitution reaction. We know in every organic reaction, there will be a main reagent, that is the substrate, and there will be an attacking reagent. Here, the attacking reagent is an electrophile. So what is an electrophile? All of you might be knowing. Electrophile means electron, as the name itself indicates. Philia means love, and electrophile means electron lover. So electrophile is an electron loving species, or we can say it is an electron deficient species. The electron deficient species is always in search of electron. And in electrophilic substitution reaction, what happens? The existing electrophile in a substrate, it will be replaced by another electrophile. A simple notation of electrophilic reaction we can see here. AB, the substrate, on combining with the attacking reagent E, will be giving AE as the final product, and all the electrophile will be leaving. So that is electrophilic substitution reaction. So electrophiles are electron loving species. I told you they are electron deficient species in search of electron. Basically, we can categorize electrophiles into two types. One is the positive electrophile. Positively charged electrophiles, there are a lot of examples. We can say simple example as proton H+, that is an electrophile. There is fluoronium ion Cl+, bromonium ion Br+, nitronium NO2+, methyl acyl ions. These are all electrophiles. But all positively charged species are not considered as electrophiles. There are exceptions. H3O+, hydronium ion, ammonium ion, even though they are carrying positive charge, they are not considered as electrophiles. They will behave as electrophile in special cases. On dissociation, H3O+ or NH4+ may act as electrophile, otherwise they are not electrophiles. So the positive charge is not the ultimate criteria for deciding a species to be an electrophile. Then there are neutral electrophiles like AlCl3, BF3, BeCl2. These are all species having incomplete octets. They are electron deficient species. Then there is SO3. Then you already studied about the different types of intermediates like free radicals, carbenes, nitrines. These are all neutral electrophiles. We can say electrophiles are electron deficient species or Lewis acids. I hope you can follow this. Electrophilic substitution reaction. Electrophilic substitution reaction. Existing electrophile electrophile replace. Philia love. Electrophilia means electron loving species. Electron deficient species electrophiles. Two type of electrophiles. Neutral electrophiles. That's the example. This electrophilic reaction we topic discuss especially the attack on electrophile on electron-rich system, aromatic system, benzene molecule. We can go to the next slide. The question is why electrophiles prefer to attack benzene molecule. Benzene is stable because benzene is aromatic. when having all the criteria for satisfying aromaticity. That is, it is a cyclic molecule, planar molecule, conjugated molecule with 4n plus 2 pi, we can say 6 pi electrons. So it is stable. These electrophiles are at benzene. The reason is the availability of pi electrons in benzene molecule. In benzene there are 6 pi electrons, delocalized pi electrons. So the benzene molecule will be behaving as an electron-rich center. That is why electrophiles to attack benzene. So the reason why benzene do not prefer additional reactions, benzene prefer to undergo electrophilic substitution reaction. For electron-rich center, benzene പോലെ electron-rich centerലേക്ക് electrophile attack ചെയ്യും. ബെൻസീനിൽ already ഉള്ള electrophile replace ചെയ്ത് H plus replace ചെയ്ത് ആ position electrophile occupies. So benzene is electrophilic. Benzene undergo electrophilic substitution reaction because it is an electron-rich center. So we can go to electrophilic substitution reaction. Different steps involved in a reaction. Here in electrophilic substitution reaction, what are the main steps? We can see in the first step, that is generation of an electrophile. This is followed by the attack of electrophile on the benzene ring. Attack of electrophile on the benzene ring will give to the formation of benzenonium complex, adenonium complex, which is a strong bronze-state acid. This is followed by the last step, that is the removal of old electrophile. So first of all, an electrophile will be generated in the reaction. Second step, the electrophile will be attacking the electron-rich benzene system. It will be the aromatic condition. It will lead to the formation of a sigma complex. Then ultimately, an old electrophile will be removed from the sigma complex, leading to the formation of final products. These are the main steps. We can see the mechanism in detail about the different types of electrophilic substitution reaction that we are studying here, like fluorination, bromination, in general halogenation, or say nitration reaction, sulfonation reaction, alkylation, and acylation. So coming to the mechanism of reaction, see, once again, it is represented here. The benzene electron-rich molecule, the electrophile will be attacking benzene molecule. The pi shifted to one carbon atom where the electrophile will be getting attached. You can see the formation of benzenonium complex or sigma complex, followed by the elimination of old electrophile, giving the final products. See, when the electrophile is attacking benzene molecule, what happens to the system? In benzene, the carbon is in sp2 hybridized state. When the electrophile attacks the sp2 hybridized state, it will get transferred to sp3 hybridized state, leading to the formation of complex. Then finally, we will get the electrophilic substituted products. So, in the mechanism of reaction, there is one rate determining step. You know what is rate determining step? In every reaction, the rate of overall reaction will be controlled by one particular reaction. That is called the rate determining step of reaction. That means the slowest step is rate determining step. റിയാക്ഷനിൽ പല സ്റ്റെപ്പുകൾ കാണും. ആ റിയാക്ഷനിൽ ഏറ്റവും വെലോസിറ്റി കുറഞ്ഞ സ്റ്റെപ്പ് തന്നെയാണ് ആ റിയാക്ഷന്റെ ഓവറോൾ പ്രോഗ്രസിനെ ഡിസൈഡ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. റിയാക്ഷൻ എപ്പോൾ കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ആവണം എന്ന് ഡിസൈഡ് ചെയ്യുന്നതും ആ ഒരു സ്റ്റെപ്പ് ആയിരിക്കും. ആ സ്റ്റെപ്പിനെ വിളിക്കുന്ന പേരാണ് റേറ്റ് ഡിറ്റർമിനിങ് സ്റ്റെപ്പ്, റേറ്റ് ഡിസൈഡിങ് സ്റ്റെപ്പ്. അപ്പൊ ഏതാണ് ഇതിൽ റേറ്റ് ഡിസൈഡിങ് സ്റ്റെപ്പ്? ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞു ഓൾറെഡി ഐ ടോൾഡ് യു there are 3 steps. 3 സ്റ്റെപ്പുകളുണ്ട്. ആദ്യത്തെ സ്റ്റെപ്പിൽ ഇലക്ട്രോഫൈൽ ജനറേറ്റ് ചെയ്യും. രണ്ടാമത്തെ സ്റ്റെപ്പിൽ സിഗ്മ കോംപ്ലക്സ് ഫോം ചെയ്യും. മൂന്നാമത്തെ സ്റ്റെപ്പിൽ സിഗ്മ കോംപ്ലക്സിൽ നിന്നും ഫൈനൽ പ്രോഡക്റ്റ് ഫോം ചെയ്യും. ഇതില് റേറ്റ് ഡിറ്റർമിനിങ് സ്റ്റെപ്പ് ഏതാണെന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ ഫസ്റ്റ് സ്റ്റെപ്പ് ഇസ് നോട്ട് കൺസിഡർഡ് ആസ് ദ റേറ്റ് ഡിറ്റർമിനിങ് സ്റ്റെപ്പ്. Coming to the second step, what happens in second step? I told you In introduction, benzene is a stable molecule satisfying aromatic condition. So benzene will not prefer to lose the condition of aromaticity. Thermodynamically speaking, loss of aromaticity is an unfavorable change. While the formation of benzene-onium complex, we are disturbing a stable aromatic system leading to the formation of a benzene-onium complex. So unstable system is getting changed to unstable system. Definitely, thermodynamically, it is not favorable change. The enthalpy requirement for that process, enthalpy of activation will be very high. That is why the second step will be a slower step. It can be considered as the rate determining step. Benzene ഒരു stable molecule ആണ്, aromatic system ആണ്. Benzene aromatic system ആയതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ aromaticity ഇല്ലാതാക്കി ഒരു ബെൻസീനോണിയം കോംപ്ലക്സ് എന്ന് പറയുന്ന സ്പീഷീസിലേക്ക് പോകാൻ ബെൻസീന് താല്പര്യമില്ല. സ്റ്റേബിൾ സിസ്റ്റത്തിനെ ഡീസ്റ്റെബിലൈസ് ചെയ്യണമെങ്കിൽ, അൺസ്റ്റേബിൾ ഇന്റർമീഡിയറ്റിലേക്ക് മാറ്റണമെങ്കിൽ നമ്മൾ അതിലേക്ക് കൊടുക്കേണ്ടി വരുന്ന എനർജി കൂടുതലായിരിക്കും. എൻതാൽപ്പി ഓഫ് ആക്ടിവേഷൻ കൂടുതലാണ്. നമുക്കറിയാം സ്പോണ്ടേനിയസ് പ്രോസസ്സിന്റെ ക്രൈറ്റീരിയ. നോൺ സ്പോണ്ടേനിയസ് പ്രോസസ് there will be a decrease. Here the enthalpy requirement is very high. So the change of benzene to the unstable intermediate will be slow process. So second step is considered as the rate determining step of the reaction. Then what about the third step? In third step, the sigma complex, benzenonium complex, it is getting converted to the final product, electrophilic substituted product. There, the system is retaining aromaticity. Since the system is retaining aromaticity, that will be a favorable change. Normally, that's a fast process. You can see the energy profile diagram of these reactions, the mechanism involved in the reaction. I told you, see the energy level diagram. Here the energy level diagram for two reactions, nitration as well as sulfonation is represented. As a general case, nitration is represented. Then as a special case, there is the possibility of sulfonation. See the energy level diagram. Here we have plotted enthalpy against the progress of reaction. See, for every reaction, initially the reactant molecules are having only certain average energy. To get converted into product, they have to cross an energy barrier. That barrier is called the threshold energy barrier. For uplifting the reactant molecules from the average energy state to the threshold energy state, energy is required. That is the energy of activation or the enthalpy of activation. See, in the first step, see the diagram, there are two hikes. One corresponding to the formation of sigma complex, that's a slow process. And second one corresponding to the shift of benzenonium complex to benzene. Diagram നോക്കി നിങ്ങൾക്ക് മനസ്സിലാവും. എൻതാൽപ്പിയും പ്രോഗ്രസ് ഓഫ് റിയാക്ഷനുമായിട്ടുള്ള ഗ്രാഫ് പ്ലോട്ട് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. അതിൽ രണ്ട് സ്റ്റെപ്പായിട്ട് ആദ്യത്തെ സ്റ്റെപ്പിൽ റിയാക്റ്റന്റ് മോളിക്യൂൾ ഒരു കോംപ്ലക്സ് സ്പീഷീസ് ആയിട്ട് മാറി, ഇന്റർമീഡിയറ്റ് ആയിട്ട് മാറി, ഫൈനൽ പ്രോഡക്റ്റ് ആയിട്ട് മാറി. ബെൻസീൻ നൈട്രേഷൻ ഗിവിംഗ് നൈട്രോബെൻസീൻ. ആദ്യത്തെ പ്രോസസ് അതിന് വേണ്ടുന്ന എൻതാൽപ്പി ചേഞ്ച്, ഹൈ എൻതാൽപ്പി ചേഞ്ച് ആണ് കമ്പയർഡ് ടു ദി സെക്കൻഡ്. So definitely the first step will be slow process, the second one will be a fast process. That's normally happening in the electrophilic substitution reaction. Energy requirement in the slow rate determining step സ്റ്റെപ്പിലെ എനർജി റിക്വയർമെന്റ് കൂടുതലായതുകൊണ്ട് അതൊരു സ്ലോ സ്റ്റെപ്പാണ്. സെക്കൻഡ് സ്റ്റെപ്പിൽ ഫാസ്റ്റ് പ്രോസസ് ആയിരിക്കും. തിരിച്ച് സൾഫോണേഷനിലേക്ക് നോക്കുമ്പോൾ maybe it's an exceptional case of electrophilic substitution reaction. There is the two steps are having almost identical enthalpy of activation. Anyway, enthalpy of activation for the first step is high compared to the second step. Sulfonation is comparatively, you can consider it as a reversible reaction because these of removal of H plus and SO3 are comparatively same. So that is about the energy level diagram. Between the hike, in between the two hikes, we can see the intermediate arenonium ion, benzenonium ion. Okay, That is a little bit stabilized by, in terms of energy, we can see a little bit stabilized compared to the threshold energy heights. Why that intermediate is stable? Compared to benzene, it is unstable, but relatively it is stable. It is stable. We can explain its stability based on resonance theory or the charge delocalization. Resonance, we can see the intermediate as a special case of allylic cation. See the intermediate complex. Then we can see an sp2 system just into positive charge. So it's a case example for allylic cation, and because of the allylic cation, it will resonating structures. So resonance stabilizes the intermediate to a certain extent. The charge delocalization in resonating structure also stabilizes the intermediate. So comparatively, to a certain extent, the intermediate is stable. Anyway, the highly stable system is the aromatic system. We already seen energy level. I hope you can follow this lecture. എന്നതൊരു പറഞ്ഞത് ഇലക്ട്രോഫിലിക് സബ്സ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂഷൻ റിയാക്ഷന്റെ മെക്കാനിസത്തിനെ പറ്റി പറഞ്ഞു. Electrophilic reaction, generation of electrophile, formation of intermediate, and conversion of intermediate to final product. അതിന് slowest step, rate determining step എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് intermediate formation ആണ്. അതിനുശേഷം at a faster rate, the intermediate will be getting converted into final product. These are the steps involved in, generally, these are the steps involved in an electrophilic substitution reaction. See, in all electrophilic substitution reaction, there will be a catalyst. Say in halogenation reaction, there are catalysts like AlCl3, FeCl3, SnCl2. These type of catalysts will be there. And what is the role of catalyst? Catalyst, we know, it's a substance which increases the rate of main reaction without undergoing any change in chemical composition. Catalyst improve the rate of reaction. Here the role of catalyst is to generate an electrophile. It polarizes the, making it more electrophilic. So catalyst is involved in all electrophilic reactions. Generally, the catalysts involved are acids or Lewis acids or acids like AlCl3 or FeCl3. And catalysts polarize the reagent, making it more electrophilic in nature. So the formation of intermediate will be taking place at a fast rate. Coming to the mechanics of electrophilic substitution reaction in detail, there are 5 types of reactions like halogenation, nitration, sulfonation, alkylation, acylation. Generally, we are interested in these type of reactions. In the slide, we can see halogenation of benzene. I mentioned chlorination, bromination, and iodination. Chlorination is catalyzed by AlCl3, bromination by FeBr3. Even FeBr3 can the formation of chlorobenzene. In iodination, there is a difference. We can come to that difference after discussing the mechanism of reaction. In the first step is the generation of electrophile Cl+. So, deficient catalyst AlCl3 will be attacking chlorine molecule. AlCl3 will polarize the molecule. It will take away chlorine with the shared electrode pair as AlCl4 negative, leaving behind the attacking reaction, that is ammonium ion. That is the first step, generation of electrophile. Of electron deficient AlCl3 chlorine molecule attacking chloronium ion produce AlCl3, AlCl4 negative at Marin. Immediately after the first step, the Cl plus will be attacking benzene molecule, leading to the formation of benzenonium ion. Okay, the benzenonium ion represented as E is stabilized by resonance. Ultimately, in the third step, AlCl4 negative formed in first step attack the benzenonium ion complex. It will replace the H plus, giving the final product, that is a substituted chlorobenzene as the final product. So that step is a fast step. The reason is benzenonium ion is considered as a Bronsted acid. Bronsted acid means acid which is having tendency to release H plus. So benzonodium is a strong bronzed acid, so it will be having tendency to be magnified by the presence of AlCl4 negative. H plus will be removed and AlCl3, the catalyst, is retained in the reaction. Okay. So chlorine split ചെയ്ത് chloronium ion form ചെയ്തു. Chloronium ion benzene molecule attack ചെയ്ത് benzonium complex form ചെയ്തു. അതിനുശേഷം catalystന്റെ ജനറേഷനിലാണ്. അപ്പോൾ catalystന്റെ റോൾ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ഇലക്ട്രോഫൈൽ ഫോർമേഷനെ എന്റർടൈൻ ചെയ്യുന്നതാണ് catalyst. തിരിച്ച് നമ്മൾ ഹാർഡനേഷൻ ഓഫ് ബെൻസിനിലേക്ക് വരുമ്പോൾ chlorination will be taking place in presence of AlCl3 or FeCl3 or AlBr3 or any of the Lewis acid catalyst. Bromination is also happening in presence of FeBr3 or Lewis acids. But in case of iodination, iodobenzene is not formed when benzene is treated with iodine in presence of AlCl3 or FeBr3. The reason is simple. In the first and second example, chlorination as well as bromination, there is a formation of HCl and HBr. So what happens in presence of iodination? If benzene is iodinated in presence of AlCl3 or AlI3, one of the product will be HI, byproduct will be HI. And HI is a powerful reducing agent. So what will happen? The formed will be immediately transferring iodobenzene formed back to benzene. The reaction will become reversible in nature. So iodination is not possible using the normal Lewis acid catalyst like AlCl3 or FeBr3. That is why in iodination we have taken a strong oxidizing agent that is concentrated nitric acid. So concentrated nitric acid will avoid the formation of HI. So the final product will be iodobenzene. That is the final product. But the chlorination, bromination, ഒക്കെ നടക്കുമ്പോൾ normal process reaction നടത്തി the Lewis acid catalyst use ചെയ്തു. Iodinationലേക്ക് വരുമ്പോൾ normal catalyst use ചെയ്യണമെങ്കിൽ along with iodobenzene, HI will be formed as the byproduct. Being a powerful reducing agent, form ചെയ്ത് iodobenzene അത് revert ചെയ്ത് benzene ആക്കി മാറ്റും. Ultimately, iodobenzene product നമുക്ക് കിട്ടില്ല. So iodination will be conducted in presence of the concentrated oxidizing acid, nitric acid. Okay. That is about the halogenation reaction. Next is nitration. In nitration reaction, the electrophile is nitronium ion NO2 plus. That is generated through the reaction between sulfuric acid and nitric acid. When sulfuric acid and nitric acid are, the stronger acid will be sulfuric acid in terms of the Lowry-Bronsted concept. So sulfuric acid and nitric acid are reacting. Sulfuric acid will be behaving as the acid, and here nitric acid should behave as a base. The sulfuric acid will donate H plus to nitric acid, followed by the formation of nitronium ion, the main attacking reagent electrophile in the reaction. Then in the coming step, as happened in halogenation reaction, the attacking reagent nitronium ion, which will be attacking electrophile. The intermediate is formed. It is stabilized through the different hypothetical resonating structures. There is the resonance hybrid. And finally, loss of proton happening that in a fast rate, restoring aromaticity. Simple mechanism. The only change is in the first step, that is generation of electrophile. The remaining steps are happening as usual as in a general electrophilic substitution reaction. First step is മാത്രം വ്യത്യാസമുള്ളൂ. അവിടെ electrophile generate ചെയ്യാൻ നമ്മൾ യൂസ് ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്നത് sulfuric acid, nitric acid combination യൂസ് ചെയ്തു. Nitronium ion form ചെയ്തു. ആ nitronium ion polar positively charged attack agent benzene attack ചെയ്തു. Sigma product form ചെയ്ത് nitrobenzene ആയിട്ട് മാറും. Nitration is happening inside. Coming to sulfonation reaction, here also we can see generation of electrophile, intermediate complex formation, and ultimately final product formation. But see the nature of electrophile. In chlorination as well as in nitration, we have seen an electrophile carry positive charge. But here, things are a little bit different. There is a neutral electrophile SO3. Even though it is a neutral electrophile, it's a polar electrophile because there is electronegativity difference between sulfur and oxygen. So one of the sulfur double bond oxygen bond will be getting polarized, giving sulfur positive charge and oxygen negative charge. That is one difference. Neutral electrophile. So electrophile, it is not necessary that electrophile may be positively charged species. Electrophile may be a neutral species also. That electrophile SO3 is attacking benzene system in a slow process. As usual, the sigma complex is formed. Then from the sigma complex, the final product is formed. In the energy level diagram, it's only that. Nitration and sulfonation. Nitration is the second step traveling at a high speed compared to first step. But in sulfonation, there is tendency for reversibility. Second and first steps are having almost identical enthalpy of activation. Of course, second is having lower enthalpy of activation. That is also one difference between sulfonation and electrophilic substitution reactions. The mechanism, the difference in this case, one difference is the nature of electrophile, that is neutral but polar electrophile. Second one, it is a little bit reversible in nature. Reason, the ease of removal of SO3H and removal of H+. They are having almost identical energy. Another important case of electrophilic substitution reaction, that is the alkylation reaction, or better to say, Friedel-Crafts alkylation. There are two types of reaction, alkylation reaction as well as acylation reaction. In Friedel-Crafts alkylation, alkyl group is introduced into benzene ring. So here, in the first step, an alkyl halide will be reacting with the Lewis acid, AlCl3, giving the carbocation CH3 plus carbocation. Then the carbocation attack the benzene ring. Intermediate is formed. And finally, intermediate lowers proton to form. Alkyl substituted benzene, that is toluene, restoring the condition for aromaticity. Last step, H plus will be combined with AlCl4 negative, HCl and AlCl3. Anyway, there are only three main steps. One is the CS3 plus formation, then followed by intermediate and finally final product. You can see the color. In cases of electrophilic substitution reaction of Friedel-Crafts alkylation. Here it is represented in the simplest example, methyl chloride reacting with AlCl3 generating CH3 plus and finally leading to the formation of toluene. See, if you have noted down this mechanism, we can go to the next slide. Reaction. When we are treating benzene with ethyl chloride in presence of AlCl3, the same thing will be happening. There is formation of ethyl benzene. But in presence of propyl chloride, see the product obtained. It is no normal substituted product, but it is the isopropyl benzene. That is the final product. What is the reason? The reason is simple. The carbocation formed is CS3, CS2, CH2Cl. If it is reacting with AlCl3, the normal propyl cation will be formed. Normal propyl carbocation will be having a tendency to undergo the 1,2 hydrogen shift, leading to the formation of isopropyl cation, which is the more stable carbocation compared to normal propyl. Because normal propyl is primary carbocation. The second one is secondary carbocation. Secondary is more stable compared to primary carbocation. The stabilizing effect is inductive effect of alkyl group. In primary, there is only one contributing group, methyl group. In secondary, for the two sides, methyl groups are donating electrons to positively charged carbon, reducing its charge. So it is comparatively more stable. More stable intermediate will be formed in major quantity. It will be attacking benzene, leading to the formation of isopropyl cation. This is happening also in case of N-butyl chloride also. The normal substituted product will not be formed. Product will be formed from the more stable carbocation through either 1,2 hydride shift or shift. So if the same reaction, if you're conducting in presence of FeCl3 instead of AlCl3, what happens? LCl3 and FeCl3, if you're taking FeCl3 as the example, you will not be getting isopropyl methane benzene as a product. You will be getting the normal product, that is propyl benzene. The reason is that FeCl3 is not able to produce the carbocation from normal propyl chloride CS3, CS2, CS2Cl as AlCl3 is generating electrophile. Alkylation നടക്കുമ്പോൾ ഒരു കാർബോകാറ്റോൺ ഫോം ചെയ്തു. കാർബോകാറ്റോൺ ഫോം ചെയ്ത് സ്റ്റേബിൾ കാർബോകാറ്റോൺ ഫോം ചെയ്യാൻ ഒരു ഓപ്ഷൻ ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ സ്റ്റേബിൾ കാർബോകാറ്റോൺ വഴിയായിരിക്കും റിയാക്ഷൻ നടക്കുന്നത്. ആസ് സച്ച് കാർബോകാറ്റോൺസിനെ ജനറേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാനുള്ള കപ്പാസിറ്റി AlCl3 കൂടുതലാണ്. നമ്മൾ ഇതേ റിയാക്ഷൻ FeCl3യുടെ പ്രസൻസിലാണ് നടത്തുന്നതെങ്കിൽ FeCl3 is not able to generate a positively charged carbocation from alkyl halides. Only a polar species will be formed in presence of FeCl3. Since the carbocation is not formed, the rearrangement of carbocation will not be taking place in presence of FeCl3 catalyst. We will be getting the normal substituted product, but in presence of AlCl3, the reaction will be proceeding through more stable carbocation as the product. One more thing I can tell you about reaction. In alkylation reaction, here I represented CH3Cl reacting with AlCl3 giving CH3 plus and AlCl4 negative, followed by the methyl substituted products. Comparing the reactivity of alkyl halide, which of the alkyl rates? Is it methyl fluoride, methyl chloride, methyl bromide or methyl iodide? ഏതായിരിക്കും ഏറ്റവും കൂടുതൽ വെലോസിറ്റിയിൽ റിയാക്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നത്? ഫോർ എക്സാമ്പിൾ CS3Cl ആണ് മിഥൈൽ ക്ലോറൈഡ് എടുത്ത് മിഥൈൽ ക്ലോറൈഡിന് പകരം മിഥൈൽ ഫ്ലൂറൈഡോ മിഥൈൽ ബ്രോമൈഡോ മിഥൈൽ ഐഡൈഡോ എടുത്താൽ റിയാക്ഷൻ ഏറ്റവും കൂടുതൽ നടക്കുന്ന ഏത് കേസിൽ? ലിവിംഗ് ഗ്രൂപ്പ് ടെൻഡൻസി പഠിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്. ലിവിംഗ് ഗ്രൂപ്പ് ടെൻഡൻസി എളുപ്പത്തിൽ പോകാൻ ടെൻഡൻസി കാണിക്കുന്നത് ബോണ്ട് ലെങ്ത് കൂടിയാണ്, സൈസ് കൂടിയാണ് ലിവിംഗ് ടെൻഡൻസി കൂടുതൽ കാണിക്കും. അപ്പൊ ലിവിംഗ് ടെൻഡൻസി നോക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ മിഥൈൽ ക്ലോറൈഡ് ആണോ മിഥൈൽ ബ്രോമൈഡ് ആണോ മിഥൈൽ ഐഡൈഡ് ആണോ ഫാസ്റ്റ് റിയാക്ടിംഗ് ടെൻഡൻസി കൂടുതൽ? ഹാലജൻസിലെ ലിവിംഗ് ടെൻഡൻസി ഐഡൻ greater than bromine, then comes chlorine, then least fluorine. ശരിക്കും റിയാക്ടിവിറ്റി ഓർഡർ നമ്മൾ നോക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ ആൽക്കൈലേഷൻ റിയാക്ഷന്റെ റിയാക്ടിവിറ്റി ഓർഡർ നോക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ ഹൈ റിയാക്ടിവിറ്റി is drawn by methyl fluoride, then comes methyl chloride, then methyl bromide and methyl iodide. Reverse order is there. The reason is electron donating tendency is high in case of the most electron dense fluorine rather than iodine. So in mechanism CH3Cl, Cl is going combined with AlCl3, accompanied by its electron pair, giving to formation of AlCl4 negative. So electron-rich fluorine will prefer to leave the system easier compared to the subsequent members Cl, Br or I. These are two important things about Friedel-Crafts alkylation reaction. രണ്ട് കാര്യങ്ങൾ ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞു. ഒന്ന്, ആൽക്കൈലേഷൻ റിയാക്ഷൻ നടത്തുമ്പോൾ കാർബോകാറ്റോൺ ഫോം ചെയ്യുന്ന റിയാക്ഷൻ നടത്തി കാർബോകാറ്റോൺ ഫോർമേഷൻ നടത്തുന്ന ഒരു കാറ്റലിസ്റ്റ് ആണ് ഉള്ളതെങ്കിൽ മോസ്റ്റ് സ്റ്റേബിൾ കാർബോകാറ്റോൺ വഴി റിയാക്ഷൻ മുന്നോട്ട് വരും. രണ്ട്, ഡിഫറെന്റ് എടുക്കുമ്പോൾ റിയാക്ടിവിറ്റി കൂടുതൽ കാണിക്കുന്നത് ഫ്ലൂറൈഡ്സ്, then comes chlorides, then comes bromides, then iodides. Even though leaving group tendency is in the reverse order of halogens, iodine, bromine, chlorine, fluorine. Electron donating capacity is order fluorine greater than chlorine, then bromine and iodine. Okay, that is about alkylation reaction. You already seen this slide of alkylation reaction. Then there is the acylation reaction. Similar mechanisms there. Only difference, attacking reagent is acyl ion formed from the reaction between acid chloride or AlCl3 or AlBr3 as the catalyst. So acyl group will be formed. That acyl group benzene ring system leading to formation of final products. The common mechanism. That is why I'm not repeating the mechanism. It's similar happened in alkylation reaction or that happened in halogenation, nitration, or sulfonation. A similar mechanism is applicable in case of acylation also. This is the first part of reaction mechanism. Now we can move to the effect of substituents in controlling the electrophilic substitution reaction. Certain substituents, when attached to benzene ring, there are two possibilities. Sometimes the substituents will increase the electron density in benzene ring. Sometimes the substituents will be decreasing electron density from benzene ring. And how this is happening? This electron shift, whether an increase in electron density or decrease in electron density, will be happening through the different types of electron displacement effects that you have studied. There is the mesomeric effect, resonating effect, there is the hyperconjugative effect, and there is the inductive effect. And in mesomerism, it is possible in benzene. Benzene is conjugated molecule. There is a possibility of hyperconjugation also when substituents are having alpha hydrogens. Then inductive effect is also there compared to the related to the electronegativity of substituent. So when the substituent is having a lone pair of electrons, among these different electron displacement effects, the magnitude of electron displacement effect is in the order, definitely mesomeric effect is dominating, then hyperconjugative effect, then generally. I'm saying generally reason, in case of halogens there is a little bit different. In case of halogens, the order is mesomerism or inductive effect which is predominating. The inductive effect normally predominates than mesomeric effect. Otherwise, mesomerism is having more efficiency in controlling reactions compared to inductive effects. So if the substituent is having excess electrons or lone pair of electrons, definitely substituent will donate electrons to the conjugated system. So some electron-rich centers will be generated in the benzene ring. If there are some electron-rich centers in the benzene ring, definitely electrophile will attack the benzene ring more easily and will get attached to the benzene ring easily. What happens if the reverse happens? If the electrophile is withdrawing electrons from benzene ring, there is shortage of electron density in benzene ring. There will be the development of positive centers in benzene ring. Definitely to the positive center, the electrophile will be not be going. They will prefer some other positions in the benzene ring. ഒരു സബ്സ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂന്റ് ബെൻസീൻ റിംഗിലേക്ക് വരുമ്പോൾ സബ്സ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂന്റിന്റെ നേച്ചർ അനുസരിച്ച് ബെൻസീൻ റിംഗിന്റെ ആക്ടിവിറ്റി കൂടുകയോ കുറയുകയോ ചെയ്യും. സബ്സ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂന്റിന്റെ ഏതൊക്കെ പ്രോപ്പർട്ടിയാണ് ബെൻസീൻ റിംഗിന്റെ ഇലക്ട്രോഫിലിക് റിയാക്ഷനിലേക്കുള്ള ആക്ടിവിറ്റിയെ എന്റർടൈൻ ചെയ്യുന്നത് എന്ന് ചോദിച്ചാൽ അത് റെസൊനേറ്റിംഗ് എഫക്റ്റോ ഹൈപ്പർകോൺജുഗേഷനോ ഇൻഡക്റ്റീവ് എഫക്റ്റോ ആകും. മോർ സിഗ്നിഫിക്കൻസ് ജനറലി നമ്മൾ കൊടുക്കുന്നത് മീസോമറിക് എഫക്റ്റ് ആണ്. Mesomerism രണ്ട് ടൈപ്പ് ഉണ്ട്, പ്ലസ് മീസോമറിക് എഫക്റ്റ്, മൈനസ് മീസോമറിക് എഫക്റ്റ്. പ്ലസ് മീസോമറിക് എഫക്റ്റ് വഴി ഒരു ഗ്രൂപ്പ് ഒരു ആറ്റം ബെൻസീൻ റിംഗിലേക്ക് ഇലക്ട്രോൺസിനെ ഡൊണേറ്റ് ചെയ്യും. അങ്ങനെയാണെങ്കിൽ ബെൻസീൻ റിംഗിലെ ഇലക്ട്രോൺ ഡെൻസിറ്റി കൂടും, എസ്പെഷ്യലി ടു പൊസിഷൻസ് ഓർത്തോ ആൻഡ് പാരാ പൊസിഷൻ. ഓർത്തോ പാരാ പൊസിഷൻ നെഗറ്റീവ് സെന്റേഴ്സ് ആയിട്ട് മാറും. നെഗറ്റീവ് സെന്റേഴ്സ് ആയിട്ട് മാറിക്കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഇലക്ട്രോഫൈൽസ് നെഗറ്റീവ് സെന്റേഴ്സിലേക്ക് ഇമ്മീഡിയറ്റ്ലി ഇലക്ട്രോഫൈൽസ് അറ്റാക്ക് ചെയ്യും, പ്രോഡക്റ്റ് ഫോർമേഷൻ നടക്കും. തിരിച്ച് വരുന്ന സബ്സ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂവിന്റെ കയ്യിൽ ലോൺ പേര് ഇലക്ട്രോൺ ഇല്ല. ലോൺ ഇലക്ട്രോൺസ് ഇല്ല എങ്കിൽ അവിടെ നടക്കാനുള്ള പോസിബിലിറ്റി ബെൻസീൻ റിംഗിൽ നിന്നും ഇലക്ട്രോൺസിനെ വിഡ്രോ ചെയ്യും. അങ്ങനെ ഇലക്ട്രോണിനെ വിഡ്രോ ചെയ്താൽ ബെൻസീൻ റിംഗിൽ ഒരു ഇലക്ട്രോണിന്റെ ഷോർട്ടേജ് വരും. ബെൻസീൻ റിംഗിൽ ഓർത്തോ പാരാ പൊസിഷൻ പോസിറ്റീവ് സെന്റേഴ്സ് ആയിട്ട് മാറും. പോസിറ്റീവ് സെന്റേഴ്സ് ആയിട്ട് മാറിക്കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഇലക്ട്രോഫൈൽ എന്തായാലും പോസിറ്റീവ് വരില്ല. പിന്നെ ബാക്കി വരുന്ന പൊസിഷൻ മെറ്റാ പൊസിഷനിലേക്കായിരിക്കും ഇലക്ട്രോഫൈലിന്റെ അറ്റാച്ച്മെന്റ് നടക്കുന്നത്. ഇതേപോലെ ഇൻഡക്റ്റീവ് എഫക്റ്റ്, ഇൻഡക്റ്റീവ് എഫക്റ്റ് പ്ലസ് ഇൻഡക്റ്റീവ് എഫക്റ്റ് മൈനസ് ഇൻഡക്റ്റീവ് എഫക്റ്റ്. പ്ലസ് ഇൻഡക്റ്റീവ് എഫക്റ്റ് ഉള്ള ഗ്രൂപ്പുകളാണെങ്കിൽ they will be donating electrons to benzene ring. That will also increase electron density in benzene ring, enhance electrophilic substitution reaction. Suppose if a group is having minus effect, what happens? Due to the minus effect, the electronegative atom will be withdrawing electrons from benzene ring, leading to shortage of electrons in benzene ring, rate of reaction will be decreasing. See some common examples. So this is an activating group, OX group. When an OX group is attached to benzene ring, OH is having lone pair of electrons, two lone pair of electrons. The benzene OH group will be donating electrons to the benzene ring. So we can see negative centers, negative charge centers, attacking sites, electron-rich centers generating in the benzene molecule at the ortho position, second position, then fourth position, para position, again at the ortho position. So the electron will be happy to attack the known molecule. They will be attacking the ortho or para position immediately, the final product. That is the role of activating group. This group is having plus effect at the same time. OH group is also having oxygen is electronegative. It will be having tendency to show the minus I effect also. But when these two effects are competing, the plus M effect and the minus I effect are competing, then only the minus I effect will become insignificant. So ultimately, electron density in benzene ring will be increasing. Substitution will be taking place in an easier way. Another case of deactivating group is nitrobenzene. It's a strong deactivating group. In nitrobenzene, nitrogen is electronegative atom. There is no electron available in nitrogen. So what happens? Nitrogen will withdraw electrons from benzene, generating positive sites at ortho and para position. Nitrobenzene, in a way, the electrophile will be attacking the reagents easily. The electrophile will not come to the ortho or para position. If they have to come, they will be going to the meta position, which is comparatively electron dense compared to ortho and para position. Because ortho and para, there is efficiency of electron. In meta position, compared to this position, there is a little bit more electron. So nitro group will be meta orienting group. Nitro group is strong deactivating group. Nitro group is having minus M effect, at the same time it is having minus I effect. So through both these effects, minus M as well as minus I effect, nitro group will be withdrawing electrons from benzene ring. So it strongly deactivate the benzene ring towards electrophilic substitution reaction. Then we orientation effect. But substituents electrophilic reaction rate enhance the mesomerism hyperconjugation inductive effect. The later would dominate in effect mesomeric effect. And some inductive effect generally. Group inductive effect plus M effect plus I effect benzene ring electron density കൂട്ടുകയാണെങ്കിൽ അത് ആക്ടിവേറ്റിംഗ് ഗ്രൂപ്പായിട്ട് കൺസിഡർ ചെയ്യാം ഇലക്ട്രോഫിലിക് സബ്സ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂഷൻ റിയാക്ഷൻ റേറ്റ് കൂടും നമ്മൾ വേണമെങ്കിൽ അവരെ ഓർത്തോ പാര ഓറിയന്റഡ് ഗ്രൂപ്പ്സ് എന്ന് വിളിക്കും കാരണം ഓർത്തോ പാര പൊസിഷനിലാണ് ഇലക്ട്രോൺ ഡെൻസിറ്റി ഏറ്റവും കൂടുതലായിട്ട് വരുന്നത് അതല്ല ഗ്രൂപ്പുകൾ മൈനസ് ഇഫക്റ്റ് വഴി ഇലക്ട്രോൺ ഡെൻസിറ്റി കുറയ്ക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ അവരെ വിളിക്കുന്നത് ഡി ആക്ടിവേറ്റിംഗ് ഗ്രൂപ്പ് എന്ന് വിളിക്കും ഇലക്ട്രോൺ ഡെൻസിറ്റി കുറഞ്ഞാൽ ഇലക്ട്രോൺ ഡെൻസിറ്റി കുറഞ്ഞ സിസ്റ്റത്തിലേക്ക് വരാൻ ഇലക്ട്രോഫൈൽസിന് ടെൻഡൻസി കാണില്ല they will be related to attack less electron dense molecules. So the rate of electrophilic substitution reaction will be decreasing. That is the role of substituents. One point to remember, there is a competition between mesomeric effect and inductive effects. And within comes hyperconjugation. There is competition between mesomerism and inductive effect. Mesomeric effect will be dominant because in mesomerism there is complete charge separation. Inductive effect there is only partial electron displacement. Inductive effect is dependent on the distance between the activating group and the centers, active centers. But mesomerism will be available in the whole molecule provided the system is conjugated. So in that way, mesomerism will be dominating over inductive effect generally. But in case of halogen, it is an exception. Halogen is having lone pair of electrons in, say, chlorobenzene or bromobenzene. The chlorine is having lone pair of electrons, so it will be able to release electrons to benzene ring through the Plus-M effect. At the same time, being an electronegative atom, it will be withdrawing electrons from benzene. Or halogen atom വരെയാണെങ്കിൽ ഹാലജനിലെ ഇലക്ട്രോൺസ് ഉള്ളതുകൊണ്ട് ബെൻസീൻ റിംഗിലേക്ക് ഹാലജൻ ഇലക്ട്രോൺ കൊടുക്കും. ഇൻഡക്റ്റീവ് എഫക്റ്റ് വഴി ഹാലജൻ ബെൻസീൻ റിംഗിലും ഇലക്ട്രോൺ വിഡ്രോസ്. നമ്മൾ സാധാരണ കേട്ടു വന്നത് മീസോമറിസം ഇൻഡക്റ്റീവ് എഫക്റ്റിനേക്കാൾ ഡോമിനേറ്റിംഗ് ആണ്. പക്ഷെ ഹാലജന്റെ കേസ് ഏതാണ് ഡോമിനേറ്റ് എന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ മൈനസ് ഐ എഫക്റ്റ് എം എഫക്റ്റിനെ ഡോമിനേറ്റ് ചെയ്യും. അൾട്ടിമേറ്റ് എന്ത് സംഭവിക്കും? അൾട്ടിമേറ്റ്ലി വരുന്ന എന്താണെന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ മൈനസ് ഐ എഫക്റ്റ് ഡോമിനേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുകയാണെങ്കിൽ ബെൻസീൻ റിംഗിൽ ഇലക്ട്രോൺ ഡെൻസിറ്റി കുറയും. ബെൻസീൻ ഇലക്ട്രോഫിലിക് സബ്സ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂഷൻ റിയാക്ഷൻ നടത്താറുണ്ട്. ഹാലജൻസ് ഓർത്തോപാര ഓറിയന്റിംഗ് ആണോ ബെറ്റാ ഓറിയന്റിംഗ് ആണോ എന്ന് ചോദിച്ചാൽ ഹാലജൻ റെസണൻസ് ഷോ ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്. ഇൻഡക്റ്റീവ് എഫക്റ്റ് ഡോമിനേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നുള്ളൂ. റെസണൻസ് വഴി ഇലക്ട്രോൺ ഡെൻസിറ്റി കൂടുന്നത് ഓർത്തോപാര പൊസിഷൻ തന്നെയാണ്. അങ്ങനെയാണെങ്കിൽ ഹാലജൻസ് ഡി ആക്ടിവേറ്റിംഗ് ഗ്രൂപ്പ് ആണെങ്കിൽ അതിൽ ഓർത്തോപാര ഓറിയന്റിംഗ് ഗ്രൂപ്പ് ആയിട്ട് ആക്റ്റീവ്. ഇതിന്റെ ജനറൽ ഡിസ്കഷൻ പറ്റി സബ്സ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂൻസിന്റെ എഫക്റ്റിനെ പറ്റി പറയാം. This slide we already seen activated group. OH group is phenol is enhancing electrophilic substitution reaction of benzene molecule. It will readily undergo electrophilic substitution reaction. Deactivating group. And also we have seen nitro group is a deactivating group. Through both the negative effect, minus M as well as minus A effect, nitrobenzene decreases the electron density of benzene ring, thus deactivating the system.
Sir, hello. Sir, നമുക്ക് 10 minutes കൂടെ റിമൈനിങ് ആയിട്ടുള്ളത്. ഓക്കെ, അപ്പൊ ഒന്ന് റിമൈൻഡ് ചെയ്താൽ കേട്ടോ.
ഓക്കെ സർ. Order of activating groups like varam. There are some strongly activating groups, moderately activating groups, and weakly activating groups. See some examples for strongly activating group: CS2 minus, O minus, NS2 minus, OH, OCS3. These are able to show plus. They are acting as strong activating groups. There are some moderately activating groups also involved, like NSCO-CS3, OCO-CS3, like that. Then weakly activating groups are CS3, CH3, CS2. They show plus inductive effect, and that's why they are acting as activating groups. Then deactivating groups, as I told you, deactivating groups will decrease electron density in benzene ring. They are strongly deactivating, as we already seen. Nitro group is strongly deactivating group. Reason? It can show minus M and CN minus A and minus M effect. These are strongly deactivating. Moderately deactivating groups are there: COOH, COCl, and all acid derivatives are acting as moderately deactivating. Then there is the weakly deactivating groups like halogen. Even though it is deactivating, this is different from the other deactivating groups. This one is orthopara orienting, while the remaining members are meta-orienting groups. This we can conclude slide. There is next one: rules for predicting orientation in di-substituted benzene. Now we were discussing the orientation effect of monosubstituent in benzene. Now it is the case of orientation in di-substituted benzene. In di-substituted benzene, there are different possibilities. Sometimes it will be reinforcing each other. Sometimes the group will be opposing each other. Sometimes the group will be activating. Sometimes it may be deactivating. In these different situations, there are different possibilities for formation of final products. See the rules. If the two groups attached to the benzene ring reinforce each other, then orientation can be inferred from either group. Orientation can be as per the effect of the two groups concerned. Second rule is that orthopara orienting and meta-orienting groups are not reinforcing. They are in opposite direction. Then orthopara controls the orientation. It is more powerful compared to meta-orienting groups. Third rule is a strongly activating groups competing with weakly activating group controls the orientation. Then fourth one, very little substitution is possible in sterically ended position. That's another case. Then little substitution occurs ortho to bulky ortho-para directing group like tertiary. It is a repetition of the previous point. Normally, will be occurring at sterically hindered position. That is why if there is a tertiary butane group, alkyl group, adjacent to its position or the position, normally substitution will not be taking place. Then, when two weakly activating or deactivating groups or two strongly activating or deactivating groups compete, there is a competition between activating and deactivating groups, whether it is weak or strong. And there is a possibility of unhealthy competition. There is a possibility of both isomers, ortho-para or meta form may be possible in that case. These are the rules for orientation. So with this slide, I'd like to conclude the topic. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Sir, നമുക്ക് കുറച്ച് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് കിട്ടിയിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഞാൻ ചോദിക്കാൻ സാർ ഒന്ന് എക്സ്പ്ലെയിൻ ചെയ്താൽ മതി. First question, sir, can you please share the details of carcinogenic polynuclear arenes? അതിനെപ്പറ്റിയുള്ള ഡീറ്റെയിൽസ് ഒന്ന് പറയാമോ?
Carcinogenic polynuclear hydrocarbons are entirely different from this topic, because polynuclear hydrocarbons like other compounds, they are carcinogenic in nature. That is different from the topic we are handling. Generally, polynuclear hydrocarbons are considered as carcinogenic in nature. Even benzene is also carcinogenic chemical.
Okay. And another question is, why the catalyst chosen is generally acidic in nature?
The reason is acids are generally proton acceptors or electron deficient species. So in the reaction we have mentioned here in halogenation reaction, initiation step is formation of chloronium ion. So we are using a catalyst like AlCl3, that is electron deficient, that is an acid. It will withdraw, it will accept, it is having tendency to accept electron pair. That is why Cl plus will be released. That is the case of halogenation, even in nitration, even sulfonation. In all cases, we can see the presence of acid. It may be Lewis acid, it may be Bronsted acid, only to enhance the formation of Cl plus or the electrophile concept.
Okay. So one more question. Could you please explain the case of disubstituted benzene through an example?
In disubstituted benzene, what happens? I can say if there is a disubstituted, disubstituted benzene is there, then we can imagine if the two groups, one group at middle group in benzene at first position, another on third position, and both will be contributing to a particular point. In that case, if the orienting effect of two groups are reinforcing each other, then as per the their contribution, the final product will be formed. If one group is preferred to orient the incoming group at ortho-para, and another group is having tendency to organize the group at meta position, if the two positions coincide, in that case, the final product will be formed. That is a little bit, that's why I have not quoted examples. That is, simple rules are there. I have mentioned in that slide.
Okay.
Okay.
So, and one more question. Can you explain the polygon rule?
No, right now, I don't remember exactly.
And one more question is there, and Huckel's rule too. Huckel's rule. Yeah.
Rule is important. It is the basic condition for satisfying aromaticity. If a molecule is having conditions like it should be cyclic molecule, it should be planar molecule, it should be conjugated. If it is having 4n plus 2 pi electrons, 2 pi, 6 pi, 10 pi electrons, it will be having molecules. If there is only 4n pi electrons, it will be totally different. It will be anti-aromatic. Aromatic are highly stable. Anti-aromatic will be highly unstable molecules. So we are discussing about aromatic molecules, satisfying the 4n plus 2 pi electron to Huckel's rule.
Okay, sir. So, few more questions are there. നമുക്കിപ്പോൾ ടൈം ഇല്ലാത്ത നമുക്ക് ബാക്കിയുള്ള ഓഫ്ലൈൻ മോഡിൽ ആൻസർ ചെയ്യാം.
Okay.
അപ്പൊ നമ്മളിപ്പോൾ ഏകദേശം ടൈം എൻഡ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. അപ്പം താങ്ക് യു സർ, താങ്ക് യു ഫോർ യുവർ സെഷൻ ആൻഡ് ഫോർ spending the time with us. And we thank you. We thank you students who have participated in this session, and thank you. So we are expecting the same in the future classes too. Okay, thanks. Thank you all.